EmKay, one question haunts and hurts.
Too much to mention.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Top Oz Fandom Podcast, Down the Yellow Brick Pod, in our 7th season. Too much to mention because we are still at it. I'm Tara.
And I'm EmKay, and we are your royal custodians meets Connie and Carla of Oz, preserving and peeling back the curtain on the wonderful world located somewhere over the rainbow and its perseverance in culture.
Join us tossing open our textbooks and grimoires as we fall down fresh new rabbit holes this season.
You may find us hanging out with Elphaba's granddaughter in Gregory Maguire's Another Day series.
Or taking a detour, second star to the right and straight on to morning.
Or chasing Judy Garland-size rainbows.
Or perhaps providing our frank, L. Frank to be exact, analysis of Wicked for Good. Don't be offended.
In addition, we will also be conducting interviews with Ozian delights in our Slipperhood, Good Witch, and Masters Behind the Curtain series. Stay tuned for a magical lineup of guests.
The Wizard of Oz has been with us like so many of you since our earliest of memories, and now in adulthood, it's gotten us through some frightening times. And friends, we have such faith that it will continue to do so.
Off the pod, please say hi to us on Instagram and TikTok, and consider joining our Patreon Pod Squad if you haven't already. Exclusive content and community events and bonus giveaways, oh my! We live to spoil our Patreon fam, and they are the first to receive all official Down the YBP updates, including discounts to live shows, merch, and our annual retreat. Sign up today with a free week trial at any tier. Your support makes the pod's dreams that we dared to dream really do come true.
Now, may the world of Oz continue to be a bewitching escape in bewildering years, nostalgic and nuanced, and keep on changing us for good. To Oz, EmKay.
To Oz. Michael Luongo is an actor and longtime Oz fan who has called NYC his Emerald City home for the past 12 plus years, along with his fiancée Joey. No stranger to magical worlds, Michael played Lord Canaan and understudied J.M. Barrie on the national tour of Finding Neverland in 2018 to 2019. He earned his BFA in musical theater from Montclair State University, where he spent 4 glorious years honing his craft with your co-host Tara Tag. For more info, visit michael-luongo.com or find him on Instagram at Michael Luongo.
One rain more, another day, another book series on this never-ending quest. Hey, Lucicles. A story is a room, my friend, or is it a seed or does it bend? One rain more. That's all I have.
That warms my heart. This
I've
is why
literally
I
been
love you.
singing Another Day, Another Destiny as I've been reading this book. Non-freaking stop.
One rain more.
One rain more. Good morning, EmKay. Good morning,
Wow.
Michael. Welcome back to the pod. Michael Luongo, one of my besties
Good
from
morning.
college days, from our shiz days.
Today he's
Yes.
Michael Apple Frumpkins, okay?
That's right.
Speak
The
upon
Shen
his
Shen to
name.
my epiphany.
But like the name Michael Apple Frumpkins, like, can you just be like, oh, you know, like that new show starring Stephanie J. Block and Michael Apple Frumpkins? It's just
100%.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's
We're so
it.
happy to have you back. We just realized
So
the first
glad.
time you were on the pod was 2022, which is the year of this book, which feels really fun.
Whoa.
yeah.
We had
First
Michael
ep was
on
Return to Oz.
Return to Us.
Oh, that was
Mhm.
so fun.
And Michael loves
Second ep
Gregory
was Son of a
Maguire.
Witch.
Yes. So
One of my
this is-
favorites.
Lear is brought up in this book
Mine
for the
too.
first time in real
Yeah.
scraping together of memories for Rain. So
Mhm.
where are we? Hi, listeners. We are in the Oracle of Maracoor today. This is the follow-up book, the mid-book of this trilogy series, the Another Day series, which has been making
Another day.
Another day.
Another Day, Another
By
Destiny.
Gregory
By Gregory
Maguire.
Maguire. That sweet man. We love him. But he really
Now I
is,
really
like,
want him to sing One Day More. Like, I need Gregory's performance.
Gregory can sing. We've talked about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
We're like, Gregory, please get yourself
Gregory,
to Wicked Open.
you're-
She should just go to the open call for Wicked.
Go to the open.
He should.
Hello, I am Gregory. Maguire?
That would make an excellent TikTok reel stunt. You know what I mean?
SNL sketch.
I think he'd book. I'd hope he'd book.
I think so. If he
Anyways,
can't do it,
we have discussed
come
on previous
on.
podcasts how we desperately wish like Gregory would do like a one night only concert of Wicked and be the wizard and just or like I don't know, like a live reading of Wicked and be Nanny. Like he just I want him to
Oh,
live in his characters, especially the
be
cranky
nanny.
characters he creates. Like they're so excellent. But here
Love
we
the
are
cranky.
in the Oracle of Maracoor. I actually have the Wicked tarot deck next to me. I pulled a card because it just
Woo!
felt right. Like we should be pulling cards today because this novel has a moment of pulling cards with a certain character from another tale finding his way into this
Oh,
land.
who could
But
it
we feel like we're
be?
in like Gregory's Tolkien tribute. This just feels like
Uh-huh.
such a sweet, like we talked about this in the last episode, that this was such a quiet entry into Gregory's canon. And I could really feel like no sense of handcuff to anything in this book. Like it just feels very free. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the most about reading these. Like the new characters that he's spinning up and creating are so much fun. But first, I have a fun little question, two kind of icebreakers to get us in. The first question, let me go with this and we can answer this first, and I'll get the second one to tie on in. First question is, since we're in the in-between book of a trilogy, can you recall another in-between book that is your favorite of another trilogy? Or a trilogy, if that's not ringing true today, a trilogy that you've been dying to read? I'll give you some examples if you're like, I can't think of any, just of like some top trilogies that the internet has deemed to be the best, most popular. Slash, yeah, or a favorite a trilogy you've read. Whatever you'd like. Favorite
Love
trilogy
it.
you've read, one you want to read, or if you could really think about like the favorite in between book, because I do think the in between book is the hardest one, the bridge book, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything ringing true for anyone?
It's not a trilogy, but honestly, Son of a Witch is one of my favorite books I've ever read.
Same.
Um,
Yes.
so I know there's four books in that, but
A
I
quartet.
really love, yeah, I just love that one. That's one I can go back to a lot, and I always kind of just devour it.
Love.
Love that book. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
name
saying earlier, like Wicked, I feel like we've talked about this. Like Wicked is, in my opinion, my fave, but then Son of
Yeah.
a Witch after, like Wicked is kind of its own thing. So from the rest, Son of a Witch stands out.
also like Ozma of Oz stands out to me for Baum's books, and that's the third. Marvelous
Mm,
is a great in between book between the two, and actually, I think quite essentially you should read Marvelous Land before you read Ozma of Oz, so you can understand how Ozma comes to be.
yeah.
Um, I actually think my favorite in between book is Catching Fire, of an in like in terms of like
Oh,
Oh,
Hunger
for
Games.
Hunger
yeah.
Games, because
Yeah.
I think it is actually better than the first book. It kind of does what I call the Home Alone 2 because there's no better sequel
Did you know
in
that
the
we
world.
like Home Alone
Home
2?
Alone 2 is the best sequel. Come at me. One of the best sequels in
Oh.
the cinematic universe. But it does the
Hmm.
thing of like it already like we have the established world and it just makes it better, I think, in that second one. And it's honestly the only one of the films I like, to be very real. Of the films, that's the
I
only
haven't
one that
seen
I'm
them in
like,
so long.
The films I feel like are a little hit miss for me, but I really like the second one, and I think it's because I really like that book. I didn't think they needed to do a part one, part two for the conclusion for that final book. I didn't think they needed to do
I
that for the
agree. I
films.
remember feeling like this is getting dragged out.
But I wonder if any listeners are like, Two Towers is my favorite Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
Right.
I'd be curious. I've
My
never read the
sister
books.
Mads read it recently and was like, I love this.
Did she say that Two Towers was her favorite?
She's been reading, I don't know if she's read the third one yet, but she did read the first one because she came to Books of Wonder to like get some version, or maybe that was The
Hobbit,
Hobbit.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
she got the
she's like
Hobbit.
very in the
The
Lord of the Rings
Hobbit.
world. Love The Hobbit.
Hobbit's great.
Um, yeah, but she finished the Twin Towers and was like, this is, she really liked it. So I don't know.
Do you want to
I'm
hear some
having,
popular trilogies? Like just hear
yeah,
some? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like throw something up if you've read them, want to read them. Um, okay. Obviously Lord of the Rings, probably the canon of all fantasy trilogies of
Yeah,
all. Hunger Games, like we mentioned. His Dark Materials by Philip
I haven't
Pullman.
read it.
Hmm.
Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Divergent, that's a big one. Veronica Roth. The Infernal Devices, Cassandra Clare. The Green Bone Saga by Fonda Lee.
Mm.
Silo, it's the Wool Trilogy by Hugh Howey. Hope I'm saying that right. The First Law by Joe Abercrombie, but not Finch.
Darn.
And then, ooh, I really want to
Oh.
read this. This is one that is on my radar, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Um, a lot of these are
Mm.
YA, and some are even in our middle grade section. I think Philip Pullman's are in our middle grade, like our 10 plus section. Um, and then there's another article I pulled up, the trilogies you need to read. Lord of the Rings is number one. The Infernal Devices trilogy is back on here. Again, Philip Pullman's back on here, his Dark Materials trilogy. The Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. That's another one I have on my list. The Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang. And then we have, ooh, Margaret Atwood's The
Oh.
Mad Adam trilogy. So this is more dealing with, it's a chilling vision of the future shaped by climate collapse, biotech experiments, and human greed. Margaret Atwood,
She
what is it called? She
knows.
soothsays.
She is a soothsayer.
Yeah, she does
Her
it
and
because
Gregory together.
she's giving cautionary tale, always. That's on here as well. So those are just some of the like the internet deemed popular
Must
trilogies.
read.
But it's hard to commit. Like I love that we do this pod because it commits me to things that maybe I wouldn't have the accountability to
Right.
finish. I like
Yeah.
to
Totally.
start things. It's hard for me to finish things.
I'm a big starter.
I'm a big starter.
I was reminded Crazy Rich Asians, the books. That's a
Is it trilogy?
trilogy.
Oh.
It's a trilogy. And I did read them. It's hard to remember because they're
Is
so
the
fun.
middle
They're
one
very
good?
light. I remember liking it. I feel like when I think of a middle book, and this is kind of where I am with this one, not to get too into it. A lot happened in the first book. I actually don't know. I haven't read the third one. Don't know what happens.
Same.
We don't know.
This
Oh,
feels
good.
like the first, we were saying this before we started recording. The first like 80% is like, we're just on the road. We're going. We know we have this goal and we're gonna get there. And then not a lot happens till the very end. And I feel like that can happen with like the middle book.
Mid. It's so
I'm a middle
mid.
child,
Don't the kids
so
say that? Like it's so mid.
it's so mid.
Mm.
I
Oh,
agree.
so fun.
I think it is hard to have, I think, a mid book that is popping in adventure. Like it is more about getting maybe some more peeling behind the curtain moments, like getting into some backstories and
And
understandings of why,
resolving some
resolving
stuff,
some things
especially with
to
Rain
make
in this
way.
one.
Yeah, which
To be like,
I
okay,
like. I really do like these characters. I find them to be very, all of them have like such likable qualities. Even Lucicles, the musical.
Lucicles, my
Yeah,
boo.
your
But
boo.
where were the brides?
I literally texted him. I was like, "Where were the brides?
That makes me sad.
Are they
Yeah, I
okay?"
wonder if we'll ever
Will we
get
find
back
out?
to
Will we
them, like
see
what's
them
going
again?
on that island while all
I
of this
wanted
is
them to
going
join.
down.
Because we also are kind of confused about Healy at the end of Brides of Maracoor. She is
Right.
kind of seeing an apparition of some kind,
They're
right?
not
She thinks,
resolved.
I thought she was seeing them descend upon back on the island, but I don't think that's what she's seeing. I think she's being confronted with a myth-like creature of some kind because they've been released since the Grimoire has been dropped. So I don't know.
Right.
Like it's very he's left that very mysterious. I hope we get to just hear one. I like when he like puts in one line about
One
yeah, just
little
like a little
sentence.
like a they're good or here's where they're at.
They're good.
Please give me a they're
Here's
good.
what they're up to.
Like I hope Skrilla, my favorite bride.
Skrilla!
I
Gorilla.
she needs like a
Cruella
vaudeville
Skrilla.
show. She needs to be, I think,
Dun, dun,
headlining.
dun, da, da,
Like
da,
she
da.
is Gypsy Rose Lee to me.
As you two have been reading these books, especially this one, I just kept thinking it's Nuns on the Run. Have you been like, oh,
Nonsense.
right, it's Nuns on the Run.
It's like nonsense
There we go.
meets Handmaid's Tale.
Oh my God.
Wow, what a
Never
combination.
thought they'd be together.
No, because there's a seriousness that's underlining it, but they're really funny broads. All of them
So
Yeah.
together are
funny.
amazing.
Sarcasm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gregory and truly every nun that he has written, and he's written quite a few.
Because he
Many.
They're
loves them.
all distinct, unique, and they are bringing like a very essential flavor to this stew he has
I want
created.
to
Well, you
know
know
his
what's so
background with
funny?
nuns. Did he go
And
to
it's so funny,
Catholic
like I think
school?
because we hold nuns to be pious, holy, like we put like almost like a glossy halo around them. And they're
Yeah.
just people as well. We had a nun
Totally.
who came into Books of Wonder not too long ago, like full nun garb, and she was a hoot and a holler. And I think everyone was like more taken aback because she was in this like nun garb. But she was just a regular person who loves kids' books and like spent a ton of
Oh,
money at Books of Wonder.
great.
Uh,
Yeah.
Hey.
And it was just so boisterous and like loud and fun. And I guess it's nice to always, I guess, maybe see, I don't know, like when you see the
the
opposite of what you
humanity.
expect.
Yeah, they're a real
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, a real
Yeah.
person. Love it.
Totally off topic, but speaking of nuns, I was watching a film recently, and I didn't really care for the film, but this song played in it, and I haven't been the same since. It's
Oh,
called the Lord's Prayer radio single version by Sister Janet Mead. If you grew up
whoa.
Christian or specifically Catholic,
Mm.
this song is a vibe. It is from 1974, and you put it on and you are transported to a time. It's a vibe, it's a bop. So The Lord's Prayer by Sister Janet Mead. Highly recommend it,
What?
listeners. Yeah.
What
Oh my
movie was it
God.
in?
It was in this movie called Dust Bunny, which is kind of a pseudo horror movie by Brian Fuller, who created Pushing Daisies and the TV show
Oh,
Hannibal.
interesting.
Kristen
Um,
Chenoweth,
and he
Glinda.
visited the
Yeah.
char yes, the characters go to a church and this song went on, and it is just such a vibe. So I've been bopping around to it on the daily.
It's gonna
I
open
love
this
that.
episode. No, just
And
kidding.
also for anyone
No,
listening
honestly.
who might be a performer, it's honestly a great audition song if you're auditioning for something like Sister
Great.
Act, the musical.
Let's
So
audition.
We should sing
yeah.
it.
You two would be great in that show. You should listen to
Oh,
yeah, you
Oh,
two
Sister
would be really
Act? Thank
good.
you.
I
Yeah.
think I'd
Have
be
you
a
heard of it?
good Mary. I'm forgetting your character name. Martin of
Mary
Mary Martin
Tours.
Mary
of
Martin of
Tours.
Peter
I would
Pan.
be a good
Mary
Mary
Martin
Martin
of
of
National
Tours.
Tours.
And
Mary
you,
Martin of National Tours.
why did we never say that? That would have been
Oh,
a
I
good
did. That was my
hashtag. Oh, did you?
hashtag. That
Oh,
was my
great.
hashtag.
Done. Okay, great.
Because that's when
I'm
Sister
hashtags were
forgetting.
like a thing.
Sister Penelope of Peoria, Illinois.
I love a sister name.
Love a sister name. Well, I love that song. I'm gonna take a listen. I also, so Gregory he did go to Catholic school and he was
You know,
like taught,
yes.
but there's this
Yes.
whole article where he talks about like being raised by, not raised, but like taught by nuns. And he actually
Yeah.
wanted to become, like, go into seminary for a
I
moment.
Yeah.
see that. He's a questioning
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loved
He said in his
nuns.
early 20s.
Even like Elfie has a hint of Sound of Music in it. Like the whole somewhere in my youth or childhood. Because it's like, isn't it Wicked Childhood? She sings that, right? Wicked Childhood is in
Who
Yes.
there.
does?
Yes.
I think Maria sings that in Something
Oh,
Good.
for,
Perhaps I had a
Yeah,
wicked
like
childhood.
he feel yeah, like he has like none. I feel like there's a nun presence in almost everything in
yeah.
the Oz world that he has created. And there are actual
I love
sisters.
it.
I'm
Because there's
Sister
also like a
apothecary today.
mysterious wisdom quality to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some really good quotes about wisdom in this book.
Mm.
I hope they come up. Well, to get us in, now to get us like soul in, here we go. So I covered A Story is a Room, which is our first section. And this is one of the
Hmm.
first like big statements that is made by Rain in this section, trying to explain to Kasi like what is a story's purpose. I'm going to read this out loud, and then I'm going to ask you guys, what do you feel like needs to be in your room if a room is a story? Okay. A story, said Rain, is like a room. You enter it through a door, like once upon a time, or once there was a little girl, or something like that. You stay in the room and things happen there to the little girl. Then you find a door that says something like, and they lived happily ever after, or so that's all there is. There isn't anything else. And you walk out of the room, and the story is all done. It's only one thing that happened, and nothing else that ever happened can be in it. So if a story is a room, what do you want to have in your room? Have happen in your room?
The room where it happens.
I need witches in my room. I need Stregonona. Like she needs to be sitting,
Yes, Stregonona.
stirring some
Now I'm just
pasta.
like picturing a
That's
room
my
with all
room.
my favorite people and characters just like in the corner doing different
Chilling.
things. Like Carol
Yes.
Channing's on a stool, just being like,
Oh,
la da da,
She's making the jam for tomorrow.
making the jam for
and
tomorrow.
jam for
She's
yesterday.
definitely there.
I don't know. I think in my room, I would need music of some kind
The Lord's
None,
Prayer, single
none.
version.
Yeah, the Lord's Prayer, single
on repeat for the rest of my
for the
life.
rest of your life. I am so curious. I do like what Rain is saying. Like we enter into a place and we're
Hmm.
in that place, we're in that place, and then we leave that place. And that's that. Like wipe your hands and that's that. And I think this is making me also think about why reading is so important and long form stories are so important. There's a slowdown that happens to my system when I engage in something that is long form. I'm going to be so honest. Last night, I was kind of in a scroll ecstasy on my phone. I was getting hit with like a lot of really funny videos. So I just kept going and
You just
going
gotta
until
ride
like
that wave.
I was riding it because it was like a feel good. Like I wasn't doom scrolling. It was definitely delightful scrolling. But I also was like, at the end of it, I have just seen so many people's lives. Who are these people?
Yeah, how are you in this box in front of me now?
Yes, and it's like discombobulating at the end of it. So I
Yeah.
like this idea of when you're entering a story. I feel like when you're on social media, you're like putting one little hand in a room and then taking it right out. But with a story, you're like entering a full place
You're in
that
it.
you can feel safe and enclosed in. And yeah, that's how I'm like envisioning this quote. And like for me, like I always need to have fantastical creatures who want to do good in this world in
Hmm.
my room,
Yeah.
witches.
I'm reading a really long book right now. It's called The Oracle of, no, I'm just kidding. It's called The Covenant of Water,
Called
and
Wicked.
it's like I think over 700
Wait, what's the title?
pages.
I'm sorry, I talked over you.
The
What was it?
Covenant of Water.
I
And
would
my
never read
sister,
that.
it's actually so good. My sister Mads gave it to me. And it's so big that I can't even, I've stopped like carrying it around because usually I'll like read on my commute, but I'm like, this weighs too much. I don't want to carry this around all day. So I
It's a
really only,
burden. The
it's a
character in this
burden.
book.
A burden.
Did you know?
It's a
And so I
burden.
really only step into this story like before bed sometimes. And what you just said kind of makes me feel like it takes place in India and all across India, and it's multi generations of families and multi decades, and it's so rich and vast that I'm actually glad I started it in January and I'm not done. And it feels actually really nice to be like, okay, I'm gonna go visit my friends over there for tonight for a few pages and then come back out. So there's something satisfying about
Hmm.
that.
It's like not your
Yeah.
room.
It's not my room at all. I've never been there. I feel like I'm traveling. It reminds me of why people are like, you can kind of armchair travel through stories.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, great book. I haven't finished it,
A
but
story
I
is a
like it.
room, or is it a seed? We will
Mm.
talk. Here we go, y'all. We're gonna dive on in to the Oracle of Maracoor. See us on the other side.
Welcome back, dear listeners, to the Oracle of Maracoor. So excited to be here. We're going to dive into our bullets. I don't think we shared. So, Michael Apple Frumpkins, I'm Tastasi Mama Nu, and Tara is Sister Apothecary.
Throwback.
Hey!
Hey,
For
the
our
book
Zoom
club.
for our Zoom names today. I just felt like everyone needed to know that. But we are going to dive into our bullets. Tara will start us out with the opening. Michael will be our middle of the
Mid.
trilogy, and then I will bring us on
End of the day.
home.
No place like home.
No
Okay.
place. All right. All you, Tara.
Well, I'm back with it. A story is a room, first section. Here we go. Bullet point number one. Maracoor is on the precipice of war from an invading army, thrown into a mass panic as we are reintroduced to our central characters, Rain, the immigrant green girl from another world, Kasi, a convicted child felon on the run, and Iskanari, the unflappable good-hearted goose, and the flock of winged monkeys from Oz, stitching rapidly together an escape plan. Kasi, given a chance to return to the brides, the only family she has really known, but she refuses. The girls throwing on shawls for disguises as they make a run for it with what seems like the rest of Maracoor Crown, trying to push their way to the gates like second class passengers aboard a sinking Titanic where there are not enough lifeboats for all. They team up with a supposed farmer and his nephew in quick survival instincts, forging a fake family and birthing an artificial pregnancy for Rain to appeal to the guards and break through. Rain strapping a heavy satchel from the farmer to her waist without much choice. But it works. They are among the last permitted to leave in their false pantomime. They have word that the vassal, the great Mara himself, has been overthrown, and the farmer who names himself Burden and his nephew Ticheron extend a travel invitation into the unknown with them, as they are going to find the Oracle of Maracoor. But the girls find Iskanari and the monkeys and decline. Iskanari wanting Rain to dump Kasi so they can return to Oz. Rain's memory of home currently on thawing in her frozen pool of memories, but she refuses, telling Cassie a story to soothe her to sleep after their first day on the run. But to where? Bullet point number two.
Mm.
Farmstead. I want to get married at this farmstead.
The
Anyways, okay.
farmstead.
With Mia Stefana as the officiant.
Oh my
Great.
You should
God.
see if they're busy. Maybe you can employ
I
her.
could maybe give it a shot.
Yeah, Maracoor wedding destination. Anyways,
EmKay's Maracoor wedding. It just
I love
flows.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. Beautiful. Now we skippily sidestep to Mia Safana's farm, a refuge for the minor adjutant Lucicles and his wife, Oena, mother-in-law, aka Mama Newer Mia Safana, and their children, wolf attack survivor Leorix, Poena, and Star, seemingly beyond repair in their familial fractures, deciding how to deal with strangers in need of shelter fleeing from Maracoor Crown. The son, Leorix, witnessing his first shimmer of an apparition as the line between fairy tales and reality blur, and is also given a break from stranger vetting duties, using his newly acquired time to spy on his sisters, whom many thought were spending their days feeding chickadees. But that is not what Leorix sees. Lucicles, now on stranger vetting duties, denies an old couple and their dog rest at their farm, but is shocked when the Basil himself appears at his gates. The Basil being Rain's fake former uncle and his newly wounded nephew, Ticheron, taking them in. The family is shocked to discover the little girls have been feeding startling harpy like creatures named Moe and Aspirine, who are in search of a green girl. Coincidence? But who do
Mm.
end up coming in handy and scaring off more unwanted company. The farmstead is safe for now. Moe and Aspirine.
Moe.
We listened to the audiobook and we were all joking about how we love their
Love.
voices.
Love. The gravel.
And in case you didn't know, harpies are foul, winged monsters from Greek mythology, depicted usually as having the head of a woman and the body of a bird. They're
Mm.
known for stealing food, carrying away people, good God,
Huh.
and acting as agents of divine punishment. It
Oh
comes
my
from the Greek
gosh.
word harpazine, to snatch. They symbolize often greed and viciousness, which is not the case for these two little harpies. I mean, they do want
Not
to snatch
Moe.
rain, I guess, not Moe. And they're often used in literature to describe a scolding, cruel, or grasping woman. You
Oh my.
harpy. You're a
That's,
harpy.
I'm glad you defined it because I feel like yeah, I associate it with maybe like a 1920s,
She's
like
such a
old time
harpy.
movie. Yeah.
Look at Gilda over there, that harpy, throwing herself at that man.
Oh my
trying to get his coin.
God.
Yeah,
Very that.
that's how we use Guild of the Harpy. That's how we
Very
use.
that.
Anyways, passing it now to Michael, the midsection.
The
The
mid.
midsection, the haunts of the thalassic woods.
I love that
Rain,
title.
yeah,
Classic.
Gregory's
So
great with his
good.
Scholastic book
names.
fair.
Elastic.
Scholastic.
I also kept thinking of like Vlasic Pickles, every like that pickle company, every
Mm,
time he was the Thalassic
Oh,
Woods.
I love a
But
pickle.
anyway,
same.
the midsection. Rain, Kasi, Iskanari, and the monkeys venture through a dark and mysterious forest. They spend the night in a woodcutter's cottage,
Mm.
which was definitely
A
giving
wink,
me
wink.
Tin Woodsman vibes. And in the middle of the
Wait,
night,
wait,
yeah.
Michael. Is there, I guess I maybe didn't clock this. She kind of meets a scarecrow-like farmer at the beginning,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there some,
He's a
we need to
farm.
keep our eyes open. Is there a couragey lion-y
Is there a
moment
lion? Maybe she's the
later?
Yeah,
lion.
yeah, because not only is there the woodcutter's cottage where they go to rest for the night, but there's also like there's a ton of mice inside, which is giving me like the mice in the
Queen of the
poppy
field
fields. Yes.
mice.
Sorry to
Um,
interrupt, but you just
no, it's okay.
sparked something.
Mm.
In the middle of the night, Rain goes outside and senses a presence. A gray teal wolf lit by moonlight
Mm.
asks her about a mysterious amulet. The
Tealwix,
next,
the wolf.
Stop
yes,
it!
Tealwix,
She'd be so
Teal,
played
good.
by Tealwix in
we
the
got your
musical.
next show.
Oh my
The
God.
next day, they are awoken by shrieking monkeys. They find that a giant python has entrapped a
As
man.
do.
The team works together to free the man, who they find out is a thief who has an S carved into the skin on his forehead by the
Mm.
Skeeds, who tells them to change their path and avoid the village that they were heading towards. Rain then
Yikes.
tells Kasi the story of her coming from Oz and the storm that brought her here. And Kasi tells
Right.
Rain that Helia told her to place the herbs near the Fist of Mara,
Oh.
the herbs that ended up killing her. The next night, they follow the wolf again, who we learn their name is Artosius. He informs Rain that by throwing the Grimoire into the ocean, she opened up the veil for the invaders and ignited the spirit of Maracoor to return.
Mm.
Artosius
Whoops.
gives directions on how to find the Oracle of Maracoor and that she must get the Fist of Mara out of Maracoor. Next day, the gang runs into Artosius again, who tells them danger lies ahead. They listen, but then after a few minutes change their mind and go back to their original path, where they run into a rock spirit with three sets of teeth monster,
We really gave
and
Michael the section, didn't we?
Here you go.
and,
Fun.
and they run. They run into the woods and they decide to camp and hide. Moe shows up to escort them to meet the Vosel and company, and once they get there, they have hot apple frumpkins.
Oh,
Michael
what a
Apple from
what a
Kins.
wonderful gift.
Thank
Very
God.
Served
important
by
detail there.
Michael Apple Frumpkins.
The symbolism of the hot apple frumpkins, I think, means what does it mean?
What does it mean? It's a very big plot point.
Please ask that to Gregory the next time you have him on.
Why
He'll
Apple
be like, I don't
Frumpkins?
even know what you're talking about.
I
But don't
know.
but like after like journeying as they've been and it's been like treacherous and they've barely
Yes.
eaten like
That's all you want.
It's
the entire
warm,
right hot
comforting.
apple frumpkins.
Yeah.
And I love that Rain was like, Cassie needs these.
She's
Yeah.
10. She's a growing gal.
She's like, she
That's the
needs the
thing is
warm
like
apple frumpkins.
Rain, even though she's had such like an untraditional like upbringing of like with in terms of like a family unit, she really is the one like advocating for Kasi.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this scenario where like the Vosel or Lucidles, like a lot of men have a lot to say with like what should happen to this child. Um, Rain and her really becoming sisters in a way.
Like a
Yeah.
I
sister
mean, she could
act.
leave. The whole reason she's still there is because of Cassie. She
Right.
Right.
feels some sort of responsibility
She needs to
for
make sure
making
she's
sure she's
safe.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
just leaving her
But yeah,
somewhere.
the main thing to
Mm-hmm.
take away from the Thalassic Woods is like they journey through a spooky wood and meeting the character of Artosius, the wolf. That's like the big
Yeah.
plot
This
point
is
that
the
happens in that
lion.
section.
This is
Oh
the
yeah.
lion section because
Artosius could be the lion.
it's like the
There
haunted
you go.
forest part
Very that.
of
Mm-hmm.
Oz.
There we
Yeah.
go. We
Yeah.
solved it.
Yeah. Fun.
Next is the Company of the Scarab.
This confused me. I was like, what is a scarab?
I
Like a
so
beetle?
I
It took me
listened
a
to the
second.
audio book of this and then I had to go back and specifically listen to the sections I
Of
was in
circle
charge of
things.
because honestly,
Smart.
the middle section that I was in charge of, I was like, I can't remember anything. Um, Lesson learned of like listening to an audiobook after you like finish your work day when your
I
mind is
know.
It's
already kind of
hard.
fried.
It is
Um,
hard.
but that's why I listened twice. So
Same to
now
my
the
sections
Company
twice.
of the
Yes.
Scarab. Our two groups meet, and Leorix is reunited with Cassie and Rain. Stu is eaten by all. Burden
Stew.
explains the origin of the Fist of Mara and its negative effects on the land and the people, hence why it was hidden on an island. The
Mm.
Skeeds are after the Fist of Mara, and Burden reveals that the Fist of Mara is here. It's been here all along, and how Rain was the one who smuggled it out of Maracoor Crown, unbeknownst to her, as Tara
Unknowingly.
On her
mentioned.
belly.
Right,
Yeah.
in that
Oy.
fake pregnancy satchel that she thought was like a bag of pomegranates, it
Pomegranates.
actually
Very
was the
Mm-hmm.
Fist
different.
of Mara. Um,
Wow.
and
I
they
hope she's
just
okay. That has been
She
right.
like,
I
doesn't
mean,
know.
right. Rain kind of flips out at him, and
Yeah.
understandably so. Of like, you put this thing that's like evil and poisonous, and you allowed me to
toxic
strap it to my body.
to my
Right.
womb, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
where it
Yeah.
wreaks havoc.
Yeah.
And then they just discuss the logistics of who's going with who on the rest of this journey. That's the Company of
Love.
the Scarab.
Mm.
Love The Lord of the
Well done.
Rings.
It really is. The Fellowship of the
And
Rings.
yes, the Fellowship of the Fist. And next is a story is a seed.
Mm.
I
Oh,
thought it was a
I
room.
It's a seed, it's a room.
I want to go back. I can't remember if it was in. I think it was in Haunts of the Thalassic Woods, but Iskanari says, "And home, there's no place like it." There's like a
Mm-hmm.
hmm
quote that's almost like directly.
hmm
Um,
Gregory loves that.
he loves like embedding those like Easter eggs for from
Mm-hmm.
not only the MGM but also just like Oz in general. Like he's so researched in his stuff, like he knows his references, which we can appreciate.
Yes,
And it's well
Next
done.
is
It doesn't feel like forced. It feels authentic.
and surprising how he works things in. I think that's why like it's so exciting and why like fans of the OG Oz books can really appreciate these because it doesn't feel like there's a lot of books nowadays where people just like latch onto an IP and write essentially
Right.
like their fan fiction of it. And some are better than others, but like this one is I almost consider it like future it's like canon as well in
Mm-hmm.
Gregory's version of Oz.
Yeah.
Um, a story is a seed. The adventure continues. Attacked by skeeds, the harpies cause a distraction, lighting
Oh.
up like comets in the forest, but poor Moe is taken down.
like a comet pulled from
Moe.
orbit.
Totally. And
Like a
that
seed
Oh.
comet
dropped by a
was
skybird.
Oh my God, a seed.
A story is a seed dropped by a sky. A story is a seed dropped
in,
By
skyward
Skybird.
in a thalassic wood.
in a thalassic wood.
One rainbow. There's a mashup
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Not me wheezing.
It sounds like you two have like your next
That's our next cover.
That
Yeah.
two people will understand.
That's what the
You are
people
one.
pay for.
Michael Apple Frumpkins.
But those two people will love it so much.
I
And that's
know.
what we're
Um,
here
We're
for.
title of show. What is that? Their thing. It's like we're 12 people's favorite thing,
thing
right?
than I'd rather be
Aw.
9 people's favorite thing than 900 people's like second favorite thing. Or
Ah,
yeah,
that's us.
yeah.
I would take
It's
second
chic.
favorite thing too.
It's
That's
chic to
not
be
bad.
niche.
It's chic
It's
to be
chic to be
niche.
niche. We love it.
Ah.
Um, so after Moe, the harpy, is unfortunately taken down, the group runs into Artosius, the wolf, again, who warns
Played
them
by
that they are
Tilwix.
still in danger, and Tealwix then tells them that the enemy is closer than they think.
Oh
Ugh.
no. Teal, how
And
dare you?
You at the
and this
barricade, listen to this.
yes, this next
Warning.
bullet point, I have a question mark on the end of it because is did I read this correctly or not?
Mm.
Artosius then tells Rain there is an enemy within her group.
Yes, which I
Yeah,
don't really
yeah.
understand. That is something
Yes,
I
she was
flagged.
like, there's someone that can't be trusted in your
I think
Right.
she thinks
group.
it's
There's
her.
someone among of you is an enemy.
You made me go
Yes.
Iskanari?
The
No.
Vassal?
I think it's like
Yeah.
among her group, like her core group, which is Kasi, Iskanari, and the Winged Monkeys. I think for a moment I thought she maybe was like, is it me? Because her memories, are they able to be trusted? Type of a thing
Sure.
as
Yeah.
they're boiling back up.
I think
But
I went with
or
Vassal.
or oh, you went with Vasil. Or I was like,
Yeah.
maybe this is a seed dropped by a skybird for Witch of Maracoor.
Totally.
Like
Yeah,
we'll deal
maybe
with that
it's
in the
gonna be
next book.
carried over. Yeah.
Because it's kind of he kind of planted the Oracle. There's like one mention of the Oracle of Maracoor in The
Hmm.
Brides. We get like a nice little like taste of what this person, deity, we don't really know, is fortune
I wonder if
telling
our
is.
Tosius will come back because skipping ahead, at the end, he's like, you were the one who was supposed to evacuate the Fist of
Right.
Mara out. And she's like, I don't do
Tilix.
what I don't want to do. So it seems like there's some tension there. Will he return? He, she, I don't
To-
remember.
totally. Because like between like the thief that they randomly rescue from the Python, like
Mm,
as they've been meeting people on this journey, I've been wondering like what is the significance of this meeting? Because like Gregory's not one to just put filler in a book, and it's not like this is like 1,000 pages. It's like a pretty like
short.
it keeps going. So maybe it's the symbolism, or like maybe it's these are seeds that we'll discover in future reads. Um,
Mm,
so next, Leorix appears. He has come with a cart from the farm. He's defied his father's orders
Mm,
and he has followed them and miraculously has found them. And he kind of has a crush on Kasi.
I love
And
him.
hey.
that, then we meet Yorkios, the copper king giant, who's like a
You're
who's like
I
a
love it.
giant like piece of mountain man.
yeah.
Nature
They think it's
helping.
like a rock slide, but Yorkios leads them to a shortcut. And
Does he have
Luc
the bug in his foot now?
yes,
Yeah.
Lucicles is very
Like a
unhappy
tick in his
and
foot.
wants Leorix to go home. He's not
He's
having it at
so
all.
perturbed.
They're always fighting. They're oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think he does.
this whole journey, Lucicles is walking around with like
He's going
a
through it.
busted like parasitic foot.
Oh,
Um,
no, thank you.
so they're really
The wolf of
struggling to
valleys.
traverse this mountain range. We're now out of the Thalassic Woods and now we're into the mountain section of this journey, and they're really struggling.
Yeah.
So just in the simplest way I can say this, Yorkios sacrifices himself because they reach a river and they're trying to traverse a river with a cart and all of these people,
Stop.
and
Oh,
it the water is rushing and Kasi gets
Yeah.
thrown into the
it's like
water, and
Oregon
they
Trail.
right, it's giving very like Dorothy and Belina in the river, like jumping into the
Yeah.
river. That's
Mm.
what I was picturing. And so Yorkios, as this like mountain man made of earth,
A
he lays
sacrifice.
down
Wow.
in the river, which sucks up all the water and allows
Oh,
them to then pass.
They'd be
Um,
dead.
oh, so sad. Yeah.
so his time in the novel is short, but he's important. And it's showing how like the land is, and these are those spirits, right, that they were saying the Grimmery has
We're
awakened in
awakened.
Maracoor. That's Artosius the wolf, and that is Yorkios the copper giant king. Um, Kasi now realizes that the fabric that's wrapped around the
Oh,
Fist of Mara is actually a cross-stitched
Celia.
map of where they must go, created by Helia. She
wow.
remembers her cross-stitching and recognizes the fabric. They open it up and it reveals
Ah,
a map telling them exactly where they need to
Elmo.
go. And this section ends with Rain and Tisharon flirting and almost
He's like,
kissing,
Skinner is like,
He said
but
this will not be happening
they're a
on my
no
little too
watch.
fling
loud.
for
They think
you.
everyone's
No
asleep,
bounce
but
back.
Iskanari is
Mm-mm.
not and is not having it.
Thank you,
Good
Midge.
job. There's a lot that happened there,
You had the
actually.
folklore.
Oh,
So yeah,
love it when
that
Folklore,
it's
gets us
Taylor
through the
folklore,
Swift.
mid.
All right, well, I'll
folklore.
bring us on home. The Caryatids. Continuing their travels, Rain reflects on her complicated feelings regarding Tisharon and how that intersects with her lost love, Tip. They meet the Caryatids, the sheriffs of the forest, the tower keepers,
I'm
trees
obsessed with
whose
them.
job it is to guide people towards the Oracle, including
Grandmother
per
Willow,
Grandmother
could never.
Yes.
Testossi. I love Testossi. And Parator, I think his name is. And A Cornella, the fairy princess.
She's my favorite.
A Cornella the fairy
A
princess.
That
Cornella.
she is Cassie's new bestie.
I
Yeah.
love A Cornella. And they are the ones who share that the oracle's name is Zor. Hmm.
Zoroaster?
Hmm. Zoras, as in Zoroaster.
Zoroaster?
I just love the trees, and I mean, your section kind of got into like I feel like we can make parallels to climate change, to like humans' impact on the earth and weather and how nature helps us and how we can harm it. And yeah, that's what I was thinking about. The winds of chance, winds of chance. The Caryatids share that due to the weather changes caused by the Grimmery being dropped
Mm.
into the ocean, the flowers are late to bloom for the first time ever this year, which is
Oh,
so, so
climate change.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
As they reach the Oracle's tower, Rain stays back, saying she makes her own appointments, so she ain't going. While Lucicles and the Vassal meet Zor, gasp, who is revealed to be the Wizard of Oz.
Called it!
Sarah called this like the first day.
Oh, you
I was like,
did?
he's coming back. I was like, I think he's going to be the Oracle. This man is good at going to foreign
He
fairylands and being like, I'm
goes.
cool.
And the audiobook, the new cover has the hot air balloon.
And she showed me that. I was like, he's coming back.
He's
Yes,
definitely
you're right.
coming
You're
He's
right.
back.
coming back.
A little bit of a spoiler. Who landed here after he left Oz. Wow, what a connection. He's now an old man, he's bedridden and cranky, and he does tarot readings. What a life.
I love him. He's Tregonona.
He really is. It's like, what are you doing up here? He picks a card, the Ascent, and says it's worse than he thought. Bring everyone back. So Rain decides to enter his tower, and upon seeing her, Zor is taken aback, thinking that she is Elphaba, asking her where Glinda is. And
Oh,
eventually, Rain clears it up, says, I'm not Elphaba, I'm her granddaughter.
that's the name of her 11 o'clock number. I'm not
I'm
Alphaba.
her
I'm her granddaughter.
granddaughter.
That's right. And then Rain is like riffed. She's like, rain, you know?
Let the rain fall like a
Rain
sea
fall.
drop by a skybird.
Skybird.
Yeah.
And he shares that he is, in fact, her great grandfather. We come to find out Zor was the one who paid Mombi back in the day to turn Ozma into Tip. He wanted to
I
kill her, but
love
found another
this.
way. And this
Gregory is
leads
making the
Rain.
wizard deal with one of
Yeah.
his most massive stains that is it
Yeah.
is canon in Baum's world, but Baum kind of avoided dealing with it. He wanted to, but then he abandoned it because the kids didn't want the wizard to be an
Make him
enemy. The
good.
kids who were writing in, and L. Frank Baum listened to them and just made the wizard a apprentice
Like
of
a
Glinda.
funny, yeah, like,
Yeah, like a repenting apprentice, but he never has to
yeah,
deal with the fact that he brought great wrongs to
yeah.
Oz. He just gets to
Gregory said,
recover without
not on my
question,
watch.
like many
Yeah,
men in society.
right.
Honestly, that's probably why Gregory wrote this, because I feel like he would know
Yeah,
that in the bomb world, and and as like a more modern reader, he probably was like, why should this guy get off
Get
so
off. Yeah.
easily? Yeah.
He
100%.
removed the person who was supposed to be in power with like, recklessly, forcefully. No one asked him to do it, right? Like it wasn't like
No,
The line of Ozmas
No.
were bringing harm from what we know.
right. He just
He
wanted
was
his
the
own
harm.
power.
He
Yeah.
was the
Yep.
harm. Yeah.
So that's a big reveal and
Huge
obviously
reveal.
makes Rain feel some kind of way towards him. She's very, very upset. And Zora is also angry with Rain for dropping the Grimoire into the sea because he was like, "Oh my gosh, you found like the Grimoire.
He's
It's
like
here.
Bilbo
Where is
Baggins.
it?"
He's Bilbo Baggins with the ring,
This is Lord of the
Right.
Rings,
right? Like he feels like that. Like he
100%.
like literally is like the Grey Marie. Like it's just like
The
he like
Grimoire, give it
immediately
to
is
me!
consumed by greed and like like just needs it.
100%.
Do you
Yeah.
feel that way about anything? Like an object that you're like,
Like something that's the ring, the ruby slippers.
yeah, do you have a ring? Do you have a Grey Marie? I think Bun Bun is mine, but
He
Oh.
is. He is your ring.
I will kill. But I
He
can't
will
think of
murder.
anything that would like I don't know. I guess yeah, this is like in fancy lands. This makes more sense. Um,
Right.
but I think this
I
is
mean,
greed is such an addiction and it's all consuming. I do think the point is very clear
oh yeah,
in that.
100%. Yeah, it's like, why do you want the Grimoire? So that you have power. You don't even know how to read it, but you just want the status of having it.
Yeah.
So,
He searched his whole life for it.
yeah. And she dropped it into the ocean.
The old lady
Our
dropped
final,
it into the ocean at the end.
the heart of the ocean. That's another one.
Listen, greed. That's
Mm.
the Grimoire. Heart of the Ocean is the Grimoire in
Well,
Titanic, which we've
baby,
already
I went
discussed
down
already
and got
today.
it for you.
Oh my God,
Britney
Brittany.
Spears.
Britney Spears, what are you doing here?
Well, Brittany has entered the
God, we're a mess.
chat. I mean,
Continue,
we're such a
continue.
mess. Okay. The Ascent, our final section. We get Zora's backstory, which is quite tragic. His mother and
I
siblings
love it.
died in a fire as a kid,
Ugh.
which may have actually been on purpose, like set by his mother. We don't know. He'll never have the answers. And he eventually gets into soothsaying and his tarot reading. He discovers Oz and
He wants
Maracoor.
answers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, I mean, that's a traumatic childhood event that happened.
He's
So
escaping to
he's,
fantasy, as
yeah,
many of us
exactly.
do when we
Correct.
experience tragedy.
Yeah, I felt some empathy for him in this moment. The party
Most
returns
bad
to the
people
tower.
don't come from like the most
Yeah,
beautiful backgrounds, like quote unquote
100%.
bad people. They usually come from
Right.
something that is equally as horrifying as what they
Yeah,
maybe have caused or created.
right. Yep.
Ugh.
The party returns to the tower, and Zor says he wants to evacuate the Fist of Mara to keep it away from the Skeeds. A solution is formed in which the Vazel will carry out the Fist of Mara with Zor's old tattered balloon, which is deeply in need of repair.
He's still got that balloon, y'all.
He's like, I think it's over there somewhere. It's like in the back corner. Zor and Rain have it out. They have like a really intense conversation in which he encourages her, "You've always had the power." Where have we heard that before?
He also
He
does the
encourages,
where I come from. He does
he
that a
does
lot
that
too.
so many times. It's so
Yes.
cute. Where I come from, yada,
He
yada,
does it
yada. Yeah.
before we know the reveal too, which I was like, good
Yes.
job,
There's some
Gregory.
fun little nods.
Little
Yep.
Frank Morgan. Wink, wink.
Yep. He encourages her to embrace her magic, forgive her past, and some of the Caryatid's magic has like rubbed off on him. So it's like, does he use that magic to revive her broom? Is it because she's reaching this
He
like moment
revives the
of
broom.
self-acceptance? So the broom has been revived because all this
We
time
don't
it's
know
been
how.
like wet and not able to be used, but she's carried it with her. And he says, go back to Oz.
Uh,
And this is where Kasi decides she's going to stay behind with Zor. with this old guy.
Grandpapa.
Grandpapa. There's this section where it's like he puts his hand on her shoulder. I'm like, huh,
I know.
okay.
He's like, okay, I guess I'll try to
Yeah, it's like
be.
he doesn't care that she's a
But it's a,
murderer.
but it's also a little bit like watching kids with Trump on Easter. I'm like, is this a good
No,
idea?
I felt a little weird about it.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if this is a good idea.
Yeah, should Cassie be there?
But I also trust the trees.
Yeah, the wizard has such a history. Like, it's not surprising, like that he, after he got in his balloon and it blew away, it's plausible that like he wouldn't just return back to the real world, right? And he found himself in another spot. But
Yeah.
yes, like there are things that happen in people's lives that cause them to be a certain way. And like that's understandable in like an empathetic sense. But like here he is again in another land. And what the wizard's talent is like being able to like convince people he's something he isn't and like assume a position of authority.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of like, oh, he's up to his old tricks again, Maybe he's not hurting anyone this time because he's so like secluded, but here he has like these tree people who are actually magical, like thinking he is like a supreme being of some sort,
Yeah, all
right?
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's another con. He's up to the
Right.
same old shenanigans.
That's why I'm nervous that Costi is staying with him
Yes.
because I don't know, maybe this is a
Or is he
redemption, but
tired?
I
Yeah.
just kind of feel like he might corrupt her in some way because he kind of can't help himself like corrupting things.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good track
I
record.
think these are valid points. I also think of the Godfather final scene with Marlon Brando, who it's like his death scene. And in Godfather, if there's oranges in a scene, death is looming. It's like a
Mm.
little Easter egg within that world. And they're in like an orange grove in the backyard, and he's with his grandson, and he's like kind of towards the end of his
Mm.
life. And this is a man who's done a lot of bad, like a lot of bad.
Yeah.
And he's just putting oranges in his mouth and making this little baby laugh. And that's kind of the last thing he does. And he dies doing
Mhm.
that because he has a heart attack in that moment and passes. Um, but I always think I feel like I come back to The Godfather a lot with these stories because that whole saga, a trilogy yet again in film form, is all about taking care, protecting family. But these people do really horrifying
Bad
things
things.
that like divide them and are like destructive bombs going off in their family that they kind of move away from that. But it's all about like my family first, my family first. And maybe the wizard can now just be with actual family because he hasn't experienced that either. I hope there's some good in that man.
Yeah, he has family
Like
there.
I don't think we haven't been painted a picture of him being like ultra creepy with children or anything like that. We
No.
haven't been, it's just more like he thought he was a good Wizard of Oz. He thought he did great.
It's like,
That was
bro,
like
you're
you
Delulu.
literally harmed capital A animals beyond repair
Yeah. Yeah.
in that land. Like you created such division there, but he thought he was a good ruler. I don't know.
I mean, it the parallels to like what we're dealing with now,
Ugh.
it's
Never
I
ending.
mean, that's like in the DNA of Gregory's Oz books.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like we're dealing with a situation where people think they're doing good, and I believe they genuinely believe that,
Yeah.
but the reality is not that. They have their green tinted glasses on and they're seeing the world in the way they are. Um, and he thought he was doing good, but he's not, or he didn't.
Right.
So yeah.
And that's where I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be the one to be the guardian of this impressionable 10-year-old.
I know.
But
So
She
for
does
my
need
own
someone so hard.
clarification, like how does the novel end?
yeah, let's do it. Here we go. So
Tell us, MK.
I'll tell you now.
Tell us,
So
Mama New.
Cassie, Mama no. Cassie decides to stay behind with Zor. And Rain has this realization, and she has one of my favorite quotes where she says, "It would do me good to choose the damage I do for once, instead of just to
Ugh.
survive the mayhem I reap by happenstance." So this is her moment of being like, I'm taking charge. I'm choosing my next step.
So
And this
she's
is when
becoming a
she,
witch.
yes, she flies on her broom, which is very exciting, very cinematic. And she has this
Uh,
shell that I don't think
ABC
we've
Hulu, get on
really.
it.
Come on.
Come on.
I see if anyone's a Halloween Town fan, that's what I had in my head is like Debbie Reynolds
Not
and
Halloween. Not Debbie
her
Reynolds.
granddaughter flying on
Yes.
the broom
You
over
leave her
Halloween Town.
alone. Don't drag her into this.
Love Halloween Town. It's like that would be in my room, the story room. Carol Channing at Halloween Town. Okay,
That's all you
but
need.
Rain
And Ruby
has
Slippers, I feel like would be
and
there. But
ruby
like the
slippers.
Arabian pair with Debbie Reynolds.
With Debbie, see it all. Thank you
Hmm.
so much for making that connection.
Hmm.
Rain has this shell that we haven't really brought up,
The
that she's
shell.
had since childhood. Shell.
And it's on, yeah, the shell, which is a whole other meaning in the Wicked world, but it's also on the cover of Out of
It
Oz.
is on the cover,
He's
yes.
listening to the
And
shell, trying to
so
hear
when
the
she's
ocean that doesn't
flying,
exist.
she like sweeps up the pollen and puts it in her shell. And then when she flies, she pollinates the caryatids because she basically saves them since the flowers didn't pollinate. So she's like, here, I'm saving you.
She's
Um,
Greta. She's like a climate change activist.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And then there's this moment where she reunites with the blue wolf, Artosius, who tells
Felix.
her, go home to your life and become the obstinate witch you are ready to be.
There it is.
And I said, I will do so. I would love to be an obstinate witch. So she becomes the Witch of Maracoor on her own terms. No one's, and it's kind of different from like, you're a witch. It's like, no, I am a witch. She's deciding this. She flies through the western sky. I love that Gregory, he does have a little descriptive moment of the western sky. She's feeling less alone because she no longer wanted to sidestep what future might be on offer. So we're not
On
sure
off.
exactly what's happening next. Like, is she flying back to Oz? But we know that she just feels, to me, I felt like, oh, I feel satisfied. She's gotten a little bit more self-acceptance, reflected on her
She's at a great
past.
spot.
She's helped the caryatids. She feels like Cassie is safe. And that's at the end the moment too where Artosius is like, wait, you were the one who was supposed to take the Fist of Mara out. And she's like, I don't even know what that did to me. Am I barren now? Like, what happened? I don't want to do that. She's like has more agency at the end.
Yeah, that's something in the Brides of Maracoor, Rain's amnesia, it's kind of present the entire time. She can't really remember a lot. And it was nice in this book that as the journey goes on, like little snippets and like visuals are popping in her mind that she eventually, though she doesn't remember everything, like she remembers my parents are Lear and Candle.
Yeah.
And she starts remembering Tip. And then that's when like the realization of the wizard was the one and it was the Grimmery that destroyed Tip. And um, yeah.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
pieces of her
this is
past
such
are
a
returning.
pro. It's such a pro Rain book. Like it's such a good experience for her. I did a little
Yeah.
digging on some like, just grounding this into the time. Watched an interview with Gregory Maguire that came out in 2022 with the release of Oracle, and read a couple articles. I'll bring those up right now to see where we're at with Gregory. And I also have some fun reviews. I'm actually going to start with a little review from Cannonball Reed. It says, for Maguire, this book is about as thrilling as he has written. This is a quest tale with a desperate group of characters thrown together to seek out the Oracle for guidance on how to save the country. This book is about the journey into understanding, acknowledging, and finally accepting tragic events and moving beyond her grief and anger. What becomes
Mm.
more and more clear as the story develops is Rain unknowingly brought calamity to Maracoor. The characters are guided on their journey by creatures from myth that are awakening to protect the land from destruction. It is not hard to see this as allegory for climate change and the planet trying to repair the damage humans have done. The planet is
Mm.
trying to repair. Several epic fantasy tropes are on display but subvert it, such as the heroic king in the hiding, who may not be that heroic, or the everyman who rises to the occasion to be a warrior or not. I love
Yeah,
that. So that's a little sum up coming from Cannonball Read. And
that's good.
then, okay, the New York State Writers Institute has an article um, in their, I think it's called The Conversation with Gregory. Yes, I'm just going to walk through this a little bit because it's great. A lot of stuff we already know, but is worth, I think, repeating again. Albany native Gregory Maguire on Wicked Success, Fantasy Escapism. He says, while Oz for most of us is this archetypical story of a lost child who finds her way home, for me it has been a stand in for how I look at the real world, which I find much more mysterious and incomprehensible than Oz. And he has said this a lot, and we feel the same way, Gregory. Oz is a type of therapy. The world today is not only mysterious, but it's very frightening. Without Oz to inspire me and allow me to use my creative imagination, I'd probably be lost in my anxieties. So I love that. And he talks again about how in March 2020, we didn't know how many people in the world would be dead in a year, if the economy was going to
Mm.
flatten out, and if we were heading into another Great Depression. The world had shut down. I could no longer travel. I couldn't even leave my house. I had 3 children, and I needed to stay functional and keep myself strong. That's how I ended up writing about Maracoor. That was my psychological escape hatch. He also says, I was walking with them, the characters, in this act of creation. And that was so much fun because for a few hours every day, it took me out of the reality of COVID. And then he talks about like Wicked's popularity. And this is something I think just to remind everyone of. The popularity of fantasy has come and gone in waves. When Wicked was published in 1995, it was the beginning of this great era of fantasy writing. It was published the same year as the first book of the Game of Thrones and just before the first Harry Potter book. All of these books entered
Whoa,
at this time, which is like crazy in
wild.
1995. Fantasy has maintained its popularity even today with all the Marvel movies, he's saying, and this is in 2022. I like this. He sees fantasy as a way to see our homeland a bit more clearly, he says. We look through the lens of some foreign place to see who we are. Most fantasies are often about the weak, the abandoned, and the cursed. Oh, so fantasy allows us to cheer on the underdog, which I love. And he says he felt like a parent to these characters. The final job of parenting is to let your child go. That's your obligation. I have grown to like the character of Rain very much. I want her to fly free and live her own life and not her grandmother's or her father's. It's the same thing I hope for my 3 children who are all quickly becoming adults. And he says that like now he's been writing for 44 years at the time of this article. Writing is just so much
Wow.
more enjoyable today than it ever has been, he says. I've been very frugal, and today I'm no longer reliant on the money I receive from my book sales. I also feel I'm writing as well as I ever have, maybe because I don't feel such pressure to write a bestseller. That's what I love about this book. There's no pressure to be a
Yes.
bestseller, and I feel
No,
that
he's
from
just writing. He's
he's
being creative.
yes, he says I love
That's
language and
it.
I love to surprise my readers, which makes writing such fun.
Hmm.
There's a really funny quote that you're gonna die of at the end of this article. Oh, he also, this is worth noting because we always like to peel back the curtain of like, why did things happen? He says he's pretty positive that if the LA Times did not write a glowing review of Wicked, the book, we wouldn't be here. Because of that review, everyone in
Oh,
Hollywood was fighting over the
because of
rights.
that review.
Yeah. They didn't even read the book, he said. They just were like, oh my God, like, kind of like grabbing
Right.
on.
We love this
Oz
idea.
IP, right. This
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He talks about his love for Wicked the musical and this, and like, he just like the electrifying moment of when Elphaba comes on stage and like how the
Hmm.
audience is just like rooting for the Wicked Witch and he just thinks that's so thrilling. And they ask him, the last thing is they ask him about the Wicked film, which is currently just starting at this moment,
Whoa. Yep.
starting rehearsals. It's so good. I'm excited for the movie and I hope to be present at some of the filming. It's going to be a big budget film, and even if it's a disappointment like the movie Cats,
Oh my God, how
it won't change the
dare.
effect Wicked on stage has had throughout the world, where over 100 million people have seen it. He's like,
How
I just
dare
know it
you,
could be cats. It
Gregory.
could be cats.
At least that's the bar.
But you know what? That's funny because there's with Cats the Jellicle Ball starting previews on Broadway. There's that video of Andrew Lloyd Webber talking about like how much he hates the
He
Cats film and
hate. I sent
how
that to
like
He
Tara
bought a
that was
dog.
recently.
He bought a
right how
dog
like
after it.
that was such a
Oh my
disappointment. So that's funny that
God.
Gregory. But I also kind of like that mindset he's had of like the movie will be what it is. I don't have any control over it, but like regardless of
Yeah.
how it does, that doesn't change the global impact that the musical based on my story, like what that has done for people.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like bracing himself that the movie might just bomb.
I like that he's not though, because I feel like well, I mean, Andrew himself is being like, it's the worst movie ever made. It's like, and wasn't he a part of it? Sure,
I
you
think he was
were a
there. And I
part
think
of why this was bad.
he was tickling
You
the
and
ivories with
Taylor
Taylor
Swift
Swift. Yeah.
wrote a song together. Like, I think you're partly responsible.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, not everything we create is great. I think that's always like
And you know
how
what?
everyone
It
says like
is
sophomore
Pod
albums are usually
Squad.
not that great, right?
I thought of that when you were talking about the trilogies of
Yeah.
like the second album or the second
The
book.
pressure.
But Pod Squad member Andreas Weider, Cats is his favorite movie of all time. So hey, that's the one person
Title of
The
show.
feature film of Cats is his favorite
that
movie,
he.
not
I
like
don't know if it's
the
of all
pro
time. I'm
shot,
exaggerating. No,
not the pro shot that
no,
is like canon. Wow. I
which I
mean, good for
love.
you, Andreas. Good for you.
He saw it
Grease
multiple
2
times
is
in
many people's
theaters.
favorite film. One
Follow
of
the
I
mine.
Leader.
absolutely I think Grease 2 is the superior Grease for
Me
me.
too. There's
And I
something about
disagree,
it.
and that's okay.
I just love it.
Love it. Like I will
I
defend
just
it
love it.
too.
I
Just
just
love it.
love it.
Yeah.
I'll just share a little bit more and we could discuss this. So
Great.
then there was like a live conversation with that institute. That was an article they put out and then they had this live conversation. And the woman who interviewed him, the moderator, is so magical. She just like
Aw.
loves Gregory. Like it's just so
How
sweet.
could
I
you
highly will
not?
link it. She's so great. And she just said she could just feel the pleasure and wisdom at work in these pages. She flatters his language and his ease. She gives him such credit for slipping into a woman POV authentically and it not feeling like
Yeah, he's good at that.
disconnected. It feels like he's doing his job and voicing the female experience.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. He talks about this in this interview. They talk about like making up lands when they were younger, and he talks about a land that he made up with his sister that existed
Aw.
somewhere like on the way to play practice. Like it just was super cute and funny and charming.
Play
And
practice.
yeah, like something along those lines, like going to rehearsal for something.
I just like love like when we were little, like we called it play practice,
It's
and
play
then we're like,
practice.
it's rehearsal, but it's play
It's play
practice.
practice. It's pretend times.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they called this name Flian, Flian, like flan. Yeah. And on his Wicked map, there's a little arrow from Oogaboo saying to Flian. He
wait, that's
included his
so
first ever
sweet.
magical land is on the Wicked map, so the Oz map.
Okay.
Oh,
Isn't
I
that crazy?
love that.
I love that. I just thought that was a cute little Easter egg I had knew nothing about. Another Easter egg thing I did not know anything about was that he devised his capital A animal language and way of dealing with the sentient animals thanks to C.S. Lewis's work in Narnia. That
Mhm.
Which I
exists there.
love.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
love that.
connection.
And like he is such a Narnia. I think Narnia is his favorite fairyland from just what I gather. He brings it up all the time in interviews. Like
Yeah.
Narnia comes up and like learning to become a writer. And I feel this in my soul because he freaks out when someone says they haven't read this book because of Harriet the Spy. And I was like, Harriet the Spy was my best friend.
Love.
Like she
Oh
was my
yeah,
best friend.
obsessed.
I ate
remember
tomato
reading.
sandwiches. I didn't even like them because I wanted to be
Right.
like
You're
her.
like, I have to be like her.
I had marble notebooks up the ass saying the rudest things about people because
Yeah.
She
I thought I
inspired
had
us
like I just
all.
loved it. Because she was honestly just writing truth, but she was so like, oh my
But she
God,
was
like
sassy about it.
so
and
sassy
gossipy.
about
it.
And the
this
movie
like
with
Upper
Michelle
East Side kid.
Trachtenberg.
What's that?
Rest in peace.
The movie with
Oh my God,
Michelle
rest in peace.
Trachtenberg.
The film is also like there's never been a new film made because there doesn't need to
Loved
be.
the film.
Right.
I think that partly that book was another. I like you're sparking. Like I remember reading it and being like, I need to live where she lives. I need to live in New York.
She's on the Upper East, I think, in the book. I don't think the film is the Upper East Side though. Is it? Like, isn't it like
It
hippy
doesn't
dippy
give those
California?
vibes.
Yeah.
I think it feels.
Well, it's a city.
It is a city. It feels like San Fran or something. It feels like wealthy city vibes.
It
Yeah.
Are you
says
looking
New
it up,
York
Em?
City. Yeah.
That's not New York. They didn't film here. Like you
It
could
says
just
she
feel
lives a privileged life in New York
does.
City.
I
Oh
mean,
no, that's true. Right.
She is a
Her apartment and
therapist.
her parents are fancy. Right. Yes. It's been
She's a
so long since I've
therapist.
seen
Doesn't
that.
say where.
She's the first child I've ever heard of.
Oh, it's
like when I
filmed
was a
in
kid, I was like,
Toronto.
Yeah, it's not giving the vibes of New York.
Yeah.
But I love that he always brings up Harriet the Spy and Narnia. It's so great. And he does say again
Yeah.
here that Oz has become a place for him to explore what makes him so anxious in our world. And I think that is just the theme of why these books exist. He wanted to like find rain again, like it would be like finding Amelia Earhart. Like that was something that he just was like, like where'd she go? Where'd she fly off to? And
Right.
the moderator does a great job of talking about how like his narratives are ones that you can't just slide through. You have to sit and ponder. And again, goes back to that. We're going into a room. We're not just scrolling. We're not just swiping. Like we're entering a space and we're being in that space. We're sinking in. We're putting the brakes down. We're slowing down. And I just love that. And she also asked his like writing habits, like because his husband's a fine artist, like how do they let people into their work? Like, does he go out to the dinner table after he's written a chapter and be like, "Do you like the name Lucicles? Like, how are you feeling?" He doesn't do anything. He literally stays 98%, he said, is in his brain until the fifth draft is like the first time things get shared. He keeps it all
That's
pretty private,
wild.
which is crazy. So crazy. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. There's a little bit more, like I went on to some Goodreads and there's some, I think the first review that is coming up on Goodreads, the Jesse Colton review is one of my favorites. If anyone wants to
There's some
check
good
that
reviews
on
on
out.
there.
There's some good ones that are on there. And then of course people who just don't like Gregory and they're like never gonna like him. Because it's just
Never. It's like,
again, you
how have
can't,
you gotten this far if you don't like his writing?
it's not a quick read. You gotta
No.
sit. And it's not for everybody. And also like this book is not gonna hit you maybe at the like there's certain times of our lives that this wouldn't make sense. You don't have the time or
Yeah.
space, the bandwidth. Understood. Um, but
Yeah.
I
I feel
love
like a
that
lot of
like
people on Goodreads, they liked that this felt a little more wrapped up at the end. And some people were even like, I feel like this could just be the end of the series. Like, what's gonna happen
No,
next?
no.
I know that's what I think Jesse Colton said. He said that I
Yeah.
would have been fine if this was the end. It
I could
felt
see
like a
that.
nice ending.
It
It
felt like a
did.
really satisfying ending. I mean, I want more. I want to
I
know
do
what
want more,
Rain
and I'm
is up
excited that
to.
there's more.
Yeah. And that's very rare for Gregory to give us an ending where we're like, okay,
Right.
I feel good about this.
Also want to share something fun. I was like, hey, who is our artist? Because he's new,
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
McCowan.
Yeah.
Um, also, I'll put this on our Instagram. I know you won't be able to see it because my screen's a little blurred. He has done all the art for the Sterling classics, and he's designed his own Wizard of Oz too. So our artist who
Stop.
did all the art for the Oracle of Maracoor, he has done tons of classic books. They're really beautiful. And his wonderful Wizard of Oz cover is so cool because I don't think people often do the tornado as the cover. It's the farmhouse. It's Dorothy looking out in like shock and awe, but she's not scared. She's just like, oh my gosh, I'm in the air. And there's a
Mm,
cow and there's a fence and there's some bricks and they're yellow, which I love that are kind of in the air. That's a really fun little wink
love
wink
it.
there. But really cool that this artist has gone to Oz
Some
before,
Oz. Yeah.
coming
That
to
feels right.
Maracoor and creating Maracoor with Gregory, which is really cool.
Love. I wonder how they met.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for part 2 dropping this Wednesday. When Tara and I went to OzCon, one of our favorite things to do was to stroll the dealer's room of Ozian memorabilia and handcrafted treasures. We felt like Glinda and Elphaba having our one short day.
And we fell in love with artist Sharon Cummins' traditional Ozian dolls. Not only does she have Glinda and the Wicked Witch, but she has classic Oz characters like Ozma, the Patchwork Girl, and Polychrome, the Rainbow's Daughter, as 3-inch peg dolls that can be threaded to even hang as ornaments if so desired.
Now these dolls are truly handcrafted from their armatures to their hair details and are extremely limited. You might want to collect them all.
Contact Sharon at the email linked in our show notes to get your hands on your own Ozian doll, each priced at $35 plus shipping. So thrilled to feature her Ozma doll in this year's giveaway.
Happy shopping! Kylie at Withy Workshop has done it again.
She sure has. In case you don't know, Withy Workshop is our go-to for acrylic Oz jewelry because not only does their Oz collection include over-the-rainbow Dorothy brooches, an interchangeable horse of a different color necklace, plus so much more for MGM fans, it has the best Return to Oz collection that received new additions this year.
So in addition to having Princess Mombi's heads on a brooch and Jack Pumpkinhead dangling from your ears, you can now have the Gump pinned to your lapel, lunch pail trees dangling from your ears, or a Wheeler pinned to your tote as the Return to Oz collection has expanded.
Y'all, you can even have my boo, the Gnome Queen, King, puffing that pipe with the ruby slippers on. It is now the most high camp brooch I own.
Outside of all the Oz treasures, Withy also has a Middle-earth, theme park magic, and Star Trekin' collection, as well as her own dragon and pirates collection.
Shop Withy Workshop today for your next prize piece of jewelry that represents the fantasy realms you love so much.
Online shop is linked in show notes, and thank you for shopping small. Thank you so much for listening to Down the Yellow Brick Pod. We love linking arms and skipping with listeners like you.
A special thank you to our Patreon Pod Squad members who have become our Found Oz fam all across the globe. If you'd like to join, follow the link in show notes for more info.
Again, you can catch us on the socials and on Etsy serving up some merch, all linked in show notes below.
And lastly, if you are feeling the pod and looking for a free way to support us, consider leaving us an Apple rate and review. Each Apple review also equals an entry into our full-out, no-marking, end-of-the-season giveaway, fit for any level Oz fan.
As always, all previous reviews will also be considered in our entries. If you've been with us since 2020, oh, we see you.
Thank you, Ozians. We'll see you over the rainbow soon.
In a clock tick.